So here we're going to keep on looking at the order of operations, but we're going to add a couple of challenges with it, something that we can tackle. So the first thing that we're going to challenge you with is doing some substitution first. So this is where we replace the value, or we replace a variable with the value of the variable. I did not spell substitution correctly. Substitution. Plug a number in for a variable. Second thing we're going to challenge it with is fractions. We can make both of these situations very easy. You can do it. So here we have 2 times x. Now that we're in algebra, instead of thinking of x as a multiplication symbol, which it can be, in this case it's a variable and it represents some value. Sometimes we don't know the value, sometimes we can figure out the value, sometimes they tell us the value. X is 3. Wherever you see an x, put a 3. So I'm going to substitute in 3 in place of x. Now when you do that, if you ever go to the junkyard, I don't know if you hang out there ever, but when they pick up cars, they use a crane to pick them up. We're going to use this crane to plug in that 3. And when we do that, the crane arms, or hands, I don't know, whatever body part of the crane that is, that grabs and scoops up the 3. And when we put the 3 in place of the x, we need to make sure that we have the parentheses around it. So instead of 2 times x, 2 times parentheses 3. There are the scoops around the 3. It helps you see that you substituted the 3 in, and it also helps with some difficult math situations that can arise when we're simplifying these expressions. So recall order of operations. We do parentheses first, then we do exponents, multiplication and division from left to right in the problem, and then addition and subtraction is the last thing we do from left to right in that problem. So parentheses, yeah, we see them, we put them in. The parentheses, there's actually nothing we can simplify in there. Exponents, no exponents. Multiplication and division, yes, that shows up in 2 spots. We have 2 times 3 and 6 divided by 2. What should we be thinking we should do first? Thinking multiplication. Why? Why should we think in multiplication here? Because it's on the left side of this problem. So 2 times 3 is 6. Now, before we do any subtracting, we should also divide. And by the way, if you kind of realize, you know what, I could actually do, I mean, I can go left to right, but I can do both of these at the same time. Go for it. That's absolutely fine. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So then we get 6 minus 3 is 3. Boom, final answer. All right, in this example, x is also equivalent to 3 because in the directions it says x equals 3. Right there. So we're going to rewrite this, substituting in 3 in place of x. So I have parentheses 2 times 3 parentheses squared minus 20 divided by parentheses 2 plus 3. All right, so what do we have to do first here? So are there any parentheses that we can simplify? Yes, here I have 2 times 3. That is 6. Now, these big parentheses that are around wherever 2 times 3 is needs to come down. Oh, wait, we got some parentheses at the end here. So in the parentheses, it says 2 plus 3. That's 5. Alrighty, so now I have 6 squared minus 20 divided by 5. So are there any exponents? Now that I'm done with simplifying within the parentheses. Yes, there are exponents. 6 squared, that means 6 times 6, that is 36. All right, any multiplication or division? Yes, sir, Bob, there is division right over here. So now we get 36 minus 4, which equals 32. So what about, oh my goodness, example number 6. That's a mean one, Mr. Pischke. What if we have big fractions? Oh my goodness. Simplify the top and the bottom using PEMDAS. So we're going to simplify the top like it's its own problem. We'll simplify the bottom like it's its own problem. And then we divide the top and the bottom. or we simplify that fraction as the very last step. So again, let's just take a deep breath. I will not assign you 50 of these, I promise. I won't assign you many of them. I want quality over quantity. So you just treat this as the problem. This is what I need to simplify. And honestly, I kind of like to just say, hey, I'm going to do the top part of the problem right here. And so I use this space right here. I like to simplify these long expressions vertically, working from the top down. I don't like doing it horizontally. I find that for me and for a lot of other people, it's easy to miss one of the values, one of the operations, and if we miss one of them, we really can't get the right answer unless we're super lucky. So anyway, I'm just going to quickly jot down what the top was. And now I'm going to think through my order of operations process. So do we have any parentheses? You bet. We got 4 minus 2. That is 2. So I'm going to copy it on right now. It's 3 plus 2 to the third power divided by 8. Ooh. So then, let's see. I've done the simplify within the parentheses as much as I can. And the exponents, you bet. 2 to the third. That means 2 times 2 times 2. That's 8. I'll expand that just because that's fun to expand. 2 times 2 times 2 is what that meant right there. That's how I get 8. So then 3 plus 8 divided by 8. What do I have to do here first? That's right, working down on our PEMDAs, we've done exponents, any multiplication or division we have to do next. So that's 8 divided by 8. Then last but not least, do your addition. 3 plus 1 is 4. Boom. Oops, I got excited like I just, I'm done. Well, that's the top number, so that's cool. Now I need to figure out what the bottom simplifies to. So the bottom says, 20. Oh, there's those fancy pants brackets around it. 20 minus 2 minus 4 squared times 4. By the way, folks, these are just another set of parentheses, essentially. Treat them as such for right now. So honestly, they're kind of redundant because yes, I know I need to simplify what's inside of these brackets. So I can even not write them down, but there is a set of parentheses here that I can simplify within. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So I'm not going to rewrite those fancy pants brackets on the outside. All right, here we go. So I've simplified within the parentheses. Now I have negative 2 squared, which means negative 2 times negative 2. I have an even number of negatives getting multiplied together here, so that's a positive 4. So 20 minus 4 times 4. What do we do next? We have to multiply. So I get 20 minus 16, which equals 4. So the bottom number is 4. And what am I doing with the top and the bottom numbers? Check it out. There's a fraction bar, which means division. So our last step when we have a fraction is to do the actual dividing with the simplified number on top and the simplified denominator or number on the bottom. The numerator is the number for the top. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. What? I did all that work and the answer was 1? That's cool. Nice job. Way to go. That's right. By the way, if you're going to simplify this or check this with a calculator, you would have to put an additional set of parentheses on the top and, well, a set of parentheses around the bottom as well. Say I'm taking this whole top thing divided by, and end your parentheses, this whole top thing, parentheses on the left, parentheses on the right after the 8, division symbol, parentheses on the left, 20 minus, parentheses minus 4 squared times 4, big parentheses at the end there. And I think you'll find that the answer is 1. Let's try one more. Holy cow. Substitution and simplifying a big old fraction. So here we go. I could rewrite this as 3 times 2 minus 6 divided by 2 plus 7. That's going to be my top. And on the bottom, I've got 8 minus 2 plus parentheses 3 plus 2. Sorry, that's a little bit fuzzy. Divided by 5. Let's go with that. That's what we're making the problem be. There it is. So the top, I'm taking 3 times 2 minus 6 divided by 2 plus 7. And simplifying, I'm going to scribble my PEMDAs over here. Any parentheses I'm thinking that I can simplify? Nope. Any exponents? Nope. Do I have any multiplication and division? And if I do, I need to do those from left to right. So here I have multiplication. I need to do that first. Then I also have division there. So I'm going to do these in the same step, but I'm doing whatever on the left first. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Drop down the minus sign. Drop down the plus 7. So what do I need to do first here? Subtract or add? I need to do whatever on the left, whichever operation is on the left in this problem. In this problem, I need to simplify this operation's on the left. So I need to do this first. And it makes a difference, folks. So 6 minus 3 is 3. Then I add 7 to that, which is 10. So my numerator, my solution to the top is 10. Now I need to figure out the bottom. So 8 minus 2 plus, that, I don't know, I'm just going to spell that out. I don't like abbreviating that. There we go. 8 minus 2 plus parentheses 3 plus 2 and parentheses divided by 5. Any parentheses? You bet, right there. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Any exponents? Nope. Any multiplication or division? Let's see. Here is some division. I don't see anything else that's multiplication or division. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. So I've got 8 minus 2 plus 1. Now it comes down to addition and subtraction. I need to do whatever operations on the left or furthermost to the left. So I have 8 minus 2, which is 6, plus 1 is 7. So on the bottom I have 7. So the solution is 10/7. Bada bing, bada boom.